Hey guys, Michael Suzuki here. Today we're going over 5 defensive tips that you can add to improve your defense. Just little things that you might not have known about that can really take your game to the next level. So we'll get started here, guys, with cloud flats pressed versus non-pressed here. So as you can see, I have my flats on 30 yards right here, right? So my flats right here are on 30 yards. Okay, so I'm just going to call DB fire here, and we're going to go against like a bench type of play right here. We'll go against we'll go against bench right here, right? So all I want you to do here is so I'm gonna press these cloud flats, right? I'm gonna actually call like a double flat defense here, where we have both over the top zone drops and underneath zone drops. This double label concept is very popular in Madden, right? Watch how shallow these cloud flats play. So once they snap the ball, they're gonna play super underneath. Like the corner outs there is still like a ball, right? So like I'll show you guys here in the replay. They might have gotten, like maybe, let's see here. They got to, again, I am in 30-yard zone depth, right? The line of scrimmage is at 25. These cloud flats got to at most the 40-yard line. That's 15 yards. That's half the zone depth right there, right? So our 30s. With this corner out, this is a window here that you can pass, lead, or freeform this ball right here, right? That is not what we want from our 30-yard zone depth. So what I'd like to do to counter that is I like backing off my cloud flats. So again, we're gonna call it DB fire. We're gonna go against the same play here, bench. Now we're just focusing on these corner outs, right? That's what we want to stop. So this time everything's the same. The only difference is now I have my cloud flats backed off. Right, so now they are playing 30 yards. Now watch how deep they're going to play now once the ball is snapped. You see how, like, look at that. They are absolutely bagging that corner out, guys. So I told you before how they would play, like, they play at most to the 40-yard line. Let's go to check out this replay right here. So again, look at my back off cloud flats. Right here, they played, like, they are still dropping back, but, like, they're already at basically the 50. But like at this point, this corner out's not open at any point, guys. Like once it breaks the sideline, like we are bagging this, right? You cannot throw over top of this cloud flat where you could have before. So like, that's the difference, guys. Of both times the zone depth is at 30 yards. The problem is in this game, it's been a thing in this game for pretty much the whole year. But press clouds, but if you have ever had defense where like you've been playing a press defense and you're wondering why your cloud flats are not playing deeper, that is exactly why, guys. So make sure that you back off your cloud flats for that adjustment versus like deeper corner routes, C routes, etc. Now the second thing I want to show you guys here, just as like a general tip, basically what I like to do here with my users, I like to keep them in a zone. Now this is something that's very hard to show in practice mode, so I won't show you guys practice mode, just as a general tip to keep in mind, guys. When you are blitzing more than 3 people, like this one right here, I'm blitzing 5 people. I want to keep my user in a zone. The reason being is because I won't get weak boxed at all. Because I'm blitzing 5 people, so for the run we're good. And also, when your user's in a zone, they will jump to passes. They will react to passes that they wouldn't react to if they were in a blitz angle. I don't know why. I don't know what it is. It's just something in this game where if you put your user in a blitz angle like this is not good. You want to do either something like this. It doesn't matter, but you want to user in a zone because you will jump higher, you will react to passes, you will see it too throughout the games. Again, it's hard to show in practice mode as one example, but you will see in games you will intercept passes with your user that you would not have been able to intercept before because your user was in a zone instead of a blitz angle, guys. And that can be the difference between winning and losing games. That can be the difference between getting that one pick to win the game and not jumping for the ball and losing the game, right? So make sure if you blitz more than 3 people, keep your guy in a zone depth. Or another thing, the only reason why I say more than 3, because let's say you play coverage, right? Like let's say we do what we did before, and we do our double flag or adjustment. If they run the ball, guys, and I put my user in a zone, we could get weak boxed here, where like people are gonna move slower, and that's gonna hurt our run defense. So you think that there's a chance that they run the ball, you put them in blitzing, so the game thinks that you're like sending 4 here, right, versus the run. But if it's a pass situation, let's say it's like 4th and 15, and they're in no chance of running, but you still want to play coverage, a zone is fine. But if you think that they could be running the ball and you are playing coverage, that's the only time I would put your user in a blitz angle. Any other time, We want him in a zone for those better jumping abilities and better reaction abilities versus the pass. So our third example here, guys, is letting our knockouts knock out. What I mean by that is this. If, especially on defense now, Mutt, you should be having zone KOs or route KOs, whatever, based on if you ran man or zone, right? Basically, you need, in situations where maybe they throw a deep pass to a deep route KO, or they throw a corner route to a deep out zone KO. In those situations, we need to let our knockouts, our KOs KO. We need to let them knock out the passes. So basically, in order to do that, we cannot click on and interfere with that process. So like, for example, here, right? I'm going to just throw verticals. I have a deep route KO here on the left side of the field. I'm going to throw verticals here, right? I'm just going to chuck this streak, right? In this situation, I'm not going to click on, and I'm going to let my deep route KO, as you can see right there, just knock it out, right? Because that's a ball where, especially versus a high pass, it's going to have a very hard time picking off that ball. However, if I don't click on and I just let him knock out the pass, he's going to knock it out every single time, and that is why I have the deep route KO ability. Now, if I didn't have a knockout right there, that actually would get caught. I'll show it to you guys here again. Boom, right? Just throwing a streak. I'm not going to click on, and he's going to knock it out, right? Same idea. That is what you need to do, guys, in that situation. Don't go for the pick there, because if you go for the pick, and let's say you don't get it, not only do you not get the ball knocked out, but then all of a sudden it could get caught, and that could be the difference between getting a touchdown and an incomplete pass. So I'll show you guys here again. Boom. Same play right there. Again, he's burned by half step. That's fine, because we have a knockout ability, and that is why, and see the knockout ability lights up right there, and that is why it is not getting caught. So that's what you guys need to do. And again, this is just one situation out of many situations, whether it's zone KOs, route KOs, etc. But I see here, guys, this deep route KO is lighting up every single play versus this, and there's nothing that they can do. They cannot burn this because we have deep route KO. And as long as we let our deep route KO activate, we are not going to have a problem guarding streaks. Whatever zone or route KO we have for that situation is going to get bagged every time, as long as I do not click on and let the CPU do their thing. See when I'm burnt by like a half step here, like I'm burnt by half a step here, let it KO, we're absolutely fine, guys. The fourth tip I want to show you guys here is moving your safeties in the box and the importance of that. Let's say right here I don't move my safeties in the box, right? And my opponent throws a seam streak, right? Boom. And they can throw that seam streak, guys, with ease, okay? Now let's say, for example, I want to safeties in the box display, right? Boom, move them in the box, move them in the box, right? That's what I mean by moving in the box, by the way, just dragging them down. So, I'm not going to change any adjustment on defense, but now if they try to throw this seam streak, it's simply just not going to be there. Like, it's just, the safety is right there to pick it off. I have mid-zone KO for that exact reason too, but like, let's say, it doesn't have to be mid-zone KO, it can just get picked off, right? It's just about the idea of moving your safeties in the box for that reason. Another reason too, guys, another fun tip, this one is hard to show in practice mode, but if you man somebody out, let's say you run a defense, right, and let's say they're backed off to where they originally were, and you man up, maybe like you do like a hybrid defense, and you man up like X here, right? So you do something like this. If X is on a streak, and he's in like, there's a better chance that the safety will get burnt if it does get moved down in the box. It's a silly thing, I know, but if you move your safeties in the box and you man them up, so you may do something like, for example, like this, right? You might do like a cover zero, something like this, right, with clouds. Safeties get moved into the box will have a less of a chance of getting beat. That is why I like to do that a lot. So not only does it help versus in zone, versus seam streaks, it also helps versus man coverage because they will not get burnt on deeper routes. So the last tip I want to show you guys here is why I use her in the spot that I usually use her on defense. We have a screen called dollar here. We're going to go against an inside zone. So the reason why I like using the running back side linebacker. So again, in dollar I like to use her usually one of these two linebackers unless it's for specific run defense. But on a dollar specifically, I like lurking onto the running back side linebacker every time. Now the reason being is this. Number one, obviously in shotgun, right, the right back's to the right. Most of the runs that you will see, unless it's like some sort of like counter, the run's going to be to the left. So basically, because I'm using the right side of the field here, that gives me one extra body for this left side run. What I mean by that is this. If I use this side all of a sudden, this linebacker would never be in the run, to a run left, right? It would just be me. Now that I use this linebacker, not only am I in the run, but this guy also can help versus the run as well. So just one more guy to help versus the run. Not only is it nice guys having this extra body right here versus the run, but also I have a run shoot here from the same side linebacker. So again, that is like having that ability is super, super nice. So again, as you see right there, I am the air shooting the gap to blow up the run. So having that run shoot, no matter what side of the field it's on, as long as we're going to say side linebacker, that run shoot's going to be there. Another thing I like to do as well, another reason, just like a general reason why I lurk this side linebacker guys, is versus the pass. People, if you blitz 5 people, they send the running back on a route, they like throwing to the running back a lot. So like right there is much easier to use the running back with this linebacker than it is this one. That's another reason too why I like lurking on the running back side, because if they send the running back out on the route and I am bringing a blitz, they're gonna like to throw to him. To something that everyone likes to do is look at their running back as a first read versus a blitz. So I am there immediately to take that check down away. So not only does it help guys with the run when it comes to more bodies versus the run, not only with run shoots, but it also helps take away that early check down option to the running back, especially when I am bringing in blitz. If you guys found a defensive tip or a couple defensive tips that you can add to your game, consider checking out SoloG, where our full games do the highest level man. Links to it in the description. Use code GG at checkout for 20% off your next order.